magagandang information. So let's take a look at this. Worried ako, nakikita niyo po from there? Okay lang po? Oo, kanina dapat kasi may speaker, tapos meron kayo dyan ng ano. Nakikita niyo po? Ngayon, yan po. Maraming salamat sa mga divisions, 3 divisions na buong-buo na monitor nila ang kanilang mga eskwelahan. Naga City, Legazpi City, and also Tabaco City. Okay. Now, in Sorsogon City, kayo po ang pang-apat with 95.59%. Followed by Catanduanes, then Ligao, Masbate City, Sorsogon, Iriga City, Albay, Camarines Norte, Masbate, and finally, Camarines Sur. Huwag pong malungkot ang Camarines Sur. Alam niyo kung bakit ang Camarines Sur 31.29? Sa kalakihan po ng Camarines Sur, ilang divisions actually ang equivalent ng Camarines Sur. If you have this percentage of schools monitored, let's translate that to the actual schools. Kung ang Camarines Sur po, sinasabi na 31% lang ang na-monitor, but in the absolute number, they also have one of the most number of monitored schools. Ang pinakauna po, Sorsogon, maraming salamat, Sorsogon Province Division, you monitored 295 schools. And it is followed by Camarines Sur 271. So yan, nakikita po natin yung actual numbers. So ano po ang ibig sabihin nito? Ano po ang implikasyon nito? Sana po, in this experience, we would all learn that when the regional office engages you to conduct activities, we are monitoring. And we will eventually have the figures. Now, anong ibig sabihin ito? Ang ibig sabihin lang po nito, seryoso tayo. Nag-engage namin ang division offices, sobrang kaming seryoso na talagang mamonitor ang mga eskwelahan at malaman natin what's really happening in the implementation of the program. Napakalaga po nun. Because you know very well that on our level, napaka-konti ng tao sa regional office. Kahit po lahat kami lumabas, hindi namin kaya ang numbers ninyo. So we depend on you. And we are very thankful na sobra ang cooperation ng mga divisions na nagbigay sa atin ng inputs. Now let's review, ano nga ba talagang coverage ng tool? Ang iba sa atin nakalimutan nyo na. Nag-input kayo, may 3 lang siyang coverage. Napakasimple. Primarily, we were focused on how the program was planned in the school level. So under the school level, we were concerned on asking the implementation on how the schools conducted training and orientation. How the schools utilized the CRLA and ALNA, and how assessment had been conducted to the learners. In number 2, this is the focus on the actual program implementation. We tried to generate feedback on curriculum delivery, on the use of the learning centers, and also the learning resources. And finally, we were concerned in asking the implementers about the provision of support to the implementation of the Increased Learning Recovery Curriculum. Now, ito pong tool na to, iba ito sa tool na binigay namin na evaluation. You remember that? Sa evaluation kasi, pagkatapos ng implementation, nag-flow ulit kami ng isang tool, but it's basically evaluation. At nakafocus yun dun sa total implementation. I would not be presenting the data dun sa results na yun. We will be presenting that next week to your CID chiefs, and the learning area supervisors will be joining the CID chiefs in the planning of the next steps. So that's a totally separate evaluation, 18 to 20. Okay. Marami po sa inyo ang nandun sa listahan na mag-attend next week. Okay, tingnan natin. Now, in terms of determining yung training and orientation, ano ang figures na nakuha namin? Para nakakasagabal ako dito. Ano pong figures na nakuha namin? We're very happy that majority of the key personnel involved in the implementation were appropriately trained and oriented. And that included the school head, the early grade teachers. In fact, we got the exact number of teachers that were trained to those schools that were monitored and also the parents. Sila ang pinakamahalaga kasi na parte ng implementasyon ng program. The school heads, the teachers themselves, and also the parents. Now, if you look at it, majority had been oriented, except for a few na hindi, for various reasons. Now, let's take a look on the utilization of CRLA and ALNA. Because in the guidelines of the implementation of the program, napakaklarado po yung paggamit ng CRLA and ALNA results dun sa sectioning. Naalala nyo? Na dapat gamitin to. So we included these indicators that for grade 1, the results of the pre-test given in week 1 for mother tongue and mathematics were utilized to determine groupings or sectioning. Majority naman ang sinabi nila, yes, ginamit po ito. Now, for grades 2 and 3 naman, yung end of the school year CRLA and end of the school year ALNA were used to determine groupings or sectioning. Na-affirm tayo, majority said yes. Now, classes were organized homogeneously. Eto, may issue tayo dito. Majority yes, pero makita niyo malaki ang number na nag-say no for various reasons. And the results of these tests were utilized to determine also the individual profile of our pupils in the multi-grade classes. Majority said yes, pero meron ng malaki, almost half, more than a half, na nagsabi na no. Bakit? Bakit hindi nagkaroon ang ibang eskwelahan ng homogeneous grouping? Anong ibig sabihin nun sa 8-week curriculum? Sa homogeneous, ang ibig sabihin, cluster ang mga bata depende sa ability group. Meaning sa isang klase, you will only see needing full refresher. In another section, moderate intervention, light intervention, at naka-cluster ang grade ready. Now, why was it not possible? And why was it na hindi rin ginamit ang resulta ng pre-test dun sa sectioning even in the multi-grade? Reasons po. Maraming binigay na reason, cluster po namin, but generally, ito ang sinasabi ng field. Marami daw po na nagkaroon na ng previous groupings. Meaning, when they ended, school year 2021 and 2022, meron na ng section. And schools did not want to change that anymore. So, predetermined na. May sectioning na kami, ayaw na namin siyang ganun. Okay, that's one reason. Another is that, wala sila ng choice. Hindi nila pwede mag-homogeneous kasi isa lang ang grade 1, isa lang ang grade 2, isa lang ang grade 3. At ang implication nun, gustuhin man ng teacher ng school, walang ibang teacher na mag-handle. So that is another reason. Now another is that may nagsabi ko na to reorganize classes. Ito siguro na response na to, tapos ito, they are closely connected. And another is that, yes, multi-grade classes, hindi rin posible. May mga limitations po sila. Now, teachers prefer to teach diverse learners. May mga teachers tayo na matatapang. Sabi na, hindi kaya ko to, sanay ako dito, gusto ko iba-ibang ability groups. Okay, push. Nag-hetero sila. And another is that, hindi balance kung pagsasama-samahin nila by ability groups. Halimbawa, very few learners belong to light intervention and grade ready. So baka aalog-alog sila sa class, mga 10 lang sila, tapos yung full refresher nasa 40. So they need to create a balance. So yun po ang majority of the reasons. So later on, we'll talk about the analysis, anong ibig sabihin nito, ng mga data na nakuha natin. Okay, let's move on to assessment. We implemented or we administered pre-test prior to the actual implementation implementation of the curriculum. We conducted pre-tests from grades 1, 2, and 3, and we are very happy that yes, majority of the schools monitored, implemented or administered the pre-test for grades 1, 2, and 3 in language subjects, mother tongue, English, and Filipino, and also mathematics. Kokonti lang ang hindi. Okay. Now, dito, pag-usapan natin to, that after still on assessment, we asked the field whether the teachers evaluated their procedure in conducting the pre-test using the prescribed self-assessment tool rubric sa bawat language area. Majority nagsabi naman na yes. Pero may mga teachers na honestly sinabi nila, hindi kami nag-self-check. Pagod na kami ang haba-haba na pre-test. Sayang ng oras. Yun. So hindi na nga kami nakakaligo, makagawa ng learning centers. So hindi na kami nag-self-assess. Okay? Now, majority of the pre-test assessment results, we are very happy to hear this, that they serve as basis of specific lessons or interventions. So meaning, nakita ng teacher yung connection ng resulta ng pre-test dun sa lesson maps kung saan sila magsisimula ng pagtuturo sa mga bata. Then, the formative assessments and performance tasks had been administered by the teachers within the implementation of the 8-week LRC. Alam niyo po, napaka-interesting nito. While majority say yes, na meron sila ng formative assessments, tapos performance tasks, meron ng mga teachers na hindi nagsagawa nito. So yun. So that's something that we need to also analyze. Then ito po, blino ko to, kasi we understand na nang sinasagawa po ang monitoring, hindi pa tayo nasa end ng implementation. Hindi pa nagpo-post test, hindi pa nakakarating sa punto ng analysis and interpretation of results. Kaya hindi mayabong, hindi pa marami. Majority of the monitors skip these numbers. That's understandable. Okay? That is still on assessment. So yun. Tinanong natin sila kung ang mga profile ba ng learners na isulat dun sa template na binigay natin. Na-introduce niyo ba yung template? Or baka nakalimutan? Kasi although majority said yes, may profile ang mga bata, marami pa rin po ang wala. So yun. And mind you, the individual profile of the learners will be part of their permanent records. Anecdotal yan i-attach niyo po yan sa permanent records. So kung wala pa rin, mahalaga pong ma-heads up natin ang mga schools, ang mga teachers na i-accomplish ang profile. It's just a matter of putting the data needed. Nandun naman kasi hawak po yan ng mga teachers. And number 9, plans for adjustment. Hindi pa rin po masyadong marami ang sumagot because again, we were assuming na nung nag-monitor, hindi pa tapos ang implementation. And napakasaya po nito na may affirmation sa field that the school head has closely supervised and monitored the conduct of the pre- and post-test. So, present ang school head. Okay. So, in terms of curriculum delivery, eto na actually ang bottleneck. When you talk about the curriculum delivery, it is the actual implementation of the program. Now, our first concern is how the curriculum had been delivered. Now, if you remember, dun po sa guidelines, napakaklarado nun that for the schools that are able to, we are encouraging them to implement team teaching, yung tulong-tulong ang mga teachers. Now, when we ask that as the first item, if they were able to work as teams, 606 respondents said yes. Yung 660 schools said yes, but a bigger number were not able to do that. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Meaning, ang majority po ng mga teachers natin sa early grades, solo sa classroom. They manage planning, they manage the preparations, they manage the actual teaching, and they also manage evaluation, assessment ng mga bata in mother tongue, in English, Filipino, and mathematics. For these schools, Now, for the next item, we asked them, because in the guidelines, sinabi po namin that if it is possible, you could hire or engage LSAs or learning support aides or even volunteers. So, learning support aides have been utilized by 452. May mga divisions, even in our rounds, napakaganda po ng suporta ng local government. Ang local government ang nag-hire, then deploy them to the elementary schools. Napakaganda ng tie-up ng SDO sa local government unit. So many schools were able to utilize, but noticeably po, majority were not able to do that. Walang budget, walang support, hindi nakita ng local government na kailangan ng school ng suporta. Now, in terms of the time allotment, if they had been strictly observed, as stated in the guidelines, sinabi ng majority yes, but 20 schools said no. Hindi nila sinunod. And what could be reasons? Bakit hindi sinunod ng ilan na class schedule? One, kasi ang sinabi po natin sa bawat literacy subject, mother tongue, English, Filipino, and numeracy subject, meron ng prescribed number of minutes. Sinabi rin po natin sa issuance that it is face-to-face, meaning dapat pumapasok ang mga bata. And it has to be conducted for 5 days. Binilang po natin yung 8 weeks through and through na face-to-face. But realistically, it did not happen in all divisions. Ano ang ginagawa nila? Yung grade 1 pupils, may mga divisions or schools na nagsabi that their learners were dismissed at 11:30 because they were considerate of the attention span. Tumitingin na sa labas, umiiyak na, nagpapasundok na, gutom na, gusto nang matulog, pagod na. So yun, in-adjust nila. Instead of the suggested 11:40, so dinismiss ng 11:30. Now, there is lesser time for grade levels because the school is also purely multi-grade. So, nagkaroon ng adjustments dun sa oras kasi multi-grade ang hinahandle ni teacher. Another is that, may mga in-adjust ng ibang eskwelahan kasi nag-observe sila ng half-day classes for each grade level. May shifting na ginawa. Meron po ng mga schools na under construction ang ibang classroom that necessitated yung pag-shift ng mga learners ng grade level. So time schedule and activities had also been adjusted. Now, meron po ng mga divisions na nag-conduct lang po ng face-to-face classes up to Thursdays only. So anong ginawa ng mga schools na to? Nag-adjust po sila ng time to compensate for distance learning on Friday. So parang dinagdagan nila dun sa 4 days para ma-cover nila yung Friday na hindi papasok ang mga bata because this was allotted for preparation of materials, planning, discussions dun sa eskwelahan. Na meron naman po ng mga schools, because of the mandate of the division, they only conducted face-to-face classes up to Wednesday only. And here, teachers also extend time schedule. Activities are being provided to learners during Thursdays and Friday. So dito, nag-operate pa rin ang blended learning. 3 days na face-to-face, tapos may take-home na mga activities ang mga bata. Okay. Now, let's go to the learning center. Itong pinaka-colorful, di ba? When you did the monitoring, hirap na hirap ang mga teachers sa paggawa ng learning centers. Alam niyo kung bakit? Initially kasi, ang interpretation ng mga bata sa learning centers, ang ng mga teachers, display centers. They were prepared to impress the visitors. Kasi naman po, araw-araw kayong pumupunta. Diba? Tapos pag bumibisita tayo, ang pinupuntahan natin yung learning centers. O anong mga nandito? Ay, ang ganda nito. Na-pressure si teacher. So akala niya, display center ang learning centers. So we asked issues there. We included several items. Now we asked if the learning centers or the LCs were able to address the development of literacy and numeracy skills of our learners, and they were placed strategically in the classrooms. Kasi no.
So literacy centers, meron ng mga book corners, videos, mga materials, kumpleto. Pinaghirapan to ng mga teachers. Pinagastusan nila. Majority said yes. Ang sabi lang natin, mag-prepare ng material,